So what I'm doing now is I'm using my transfer paper. And I don't think I mentioned that.
I'm gonna paint.
Do you want to get down or are you going to be quiet?
I'm gonna bring that finger up here.
Do you want to get down or do you want to be quiet?
I'm gonna be quiet.
Okay. Well, close your mouth then, okay? Mommy making a video.
Oh. Okay. Okay. I'll put on you.
Sit up. Sit up.
Sit on your table. I'll put on your table.
Sit up.
I'll put it on your table.
Okay.
Just play, mommy.
It looks really dark.
I am very dark.
Yeah, it looks dark. We're gonna have to fix that.
Let me cook the paper. Cook. What are you doing? We're gonna fix it. What are you doing? What are you put like paper? What you taste like paper? Cook a like paper. Will you push a light paper? I'm gonna cut this.
No, baby, you can't handle scissors.
Gonna hurt me?
Yeah. You're gonna be crying.
No, Mama, rock it.
All right, you gotta get down because you're leaning too much. Go ahead. I told you sit up. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I hear you. Look at me. I hear you. Okay?
Okay.
And I'm not happy. I'm not happy with how you acting. I'm not happy. Okay?
You're not happy?
I'm not. You being mean. You're being mean. I don't like that. So... Well, Aiden, I don't want you to be sad, but you are being mean to me, okay?
No, I'm going to my room.
You don't have to go in your room. That's not what I said.
No, I'm going to my room. I'm going to my room. I'm going to my room.
I'll definitely figure out a way to do these mugs. Like I said, most of my cups, shot glasses, everything else I can do on the table. But these mugs, having this long handle, it's really easier to do it in your lap. All right, so we have one more thing to add. We have one more thing to add, which is going to be Girl Dad. Let's clean up. Clutter is so whack in any facet. Mind clutter, all clutters. Alright, so boom. So with that being said, this is really nice. Oh, S. I lose and find letters all the time. Let's prep this mask. I'm looking for the Girl Dad thing. I'm looking for it. But I'm also going to multitask because I don't know if I mentioned before that my best friend want her stuff. It is due today. There's a stain on this mask. What the plucky pluck? That mask was dirty. You got the smallest little mark on it, but if I can see it, then it's there. And you never want to give anyone a shit product. And you cannot expect nobody to put nothing on their face during COVID with a stain in it. Can you see it? Don't matter if you can see it. I can see it. But here's a pristine one, just pulled straight from the inventory. These don't differentiate with the top or bottom, but they do differentiate with the back and the front based on the stitching. So that's something I did not pay attention to when I first started doing masks. I had designs on upside down with people clamping their chin, what was supposed to be the nose part. I had it backwards, but the design on the side where you can see the hem. You live and you learn, y'all. Told you I started doing this for fun. But, I found this on the floor. I know my mask over here baking. One thing about these masks are they can overheat. They will overheat and they will burn on you. And when I say burn, it will not catch a blaze. I guess all depending on the type of iron you're using, but I've left one for a significantly long time and it just turned yellow. It just will turn your white mask yellow. And then you'll have to dispose of it. And I can show you some examples of burnt mask. When I first started, I watched one YouTube tutorial because we started this business. My wife and I started her business as our plans were to be a t-shirt printing company. And then she got absorbed with a lot of new work responsibilities. And I ain't like doing shirts. I like glitter and stuff. And yeah, you can put glitter on shirts. I do. I make my own custom Gucci every Friday night. So I don't even know if you was able to see it on camera, but the entire, obviously for me having it in my lap, the entire picture was like balled up, and I just spread it apart just now and it still looks perfect. But just the shock of it all, it's like so overwhelming. Like this is due to my customer in an hour and I have to bake it for half an hour and then it has to cool for a half an hour and it takes 5 hours to make these images. So this could have really been bad for me. And I'm really big on my customer service and giving people things on the assigned times and dates and etc. So I would have had to have given her a discount or made her an extra product, best friend or not. Oh my God. So I've made a few items and I did not bake them. And now I'm just like, yo, are those pictures sliding off? Like, no cap. Oh my God. And I have no problem reaching out to my customers like, hey, I'm a new business and I've learned and I've made you something before that I would simply like to remake. And I've done it before. And the customer said, oh no, mine's good. And I was like, great, 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 great. You know, I do say no refunds, no exchanges, blah, blah, blah. But that's just really so people don't try to beat my head in on ridiculous stuff because people are absurd. But I'm all for exchanges, refunds, or whatever. I never put that in writing, but I guess a verbal promise can be legally binding also. Either way, I don't care. I want to work with my customers. I want somebody to call me and be like, hey, this is what we're wrong. Can you fix it? As opposed to not sharing me on Facebook no more because I gave them something ugly or, you know, not supporting me or bashing me. Girl, dad. Now we're going to bake this. Now we're going to bake this in the oven at 350 degrees for 15 minutes. And then when I come back, that stressed me so bad. Like, I swear I'm not being dramatic. That was so bad. That could have been much worse. So I heated up the cotton first because it seems to make the vinyl adhere a little better when it's already warm. When this is already warm. Now I am going to use there's a lot of different things, right? So how this feels, I guess this feels like wax paper as opposed to parchment paper. No, I know what this is. This is butcher blocks paper, which I got off of Amazon because everything I buy from Amazon. This is butcher blocks paper. Apparently parchment paper and wax paper both have some type of residue on them. A wax residue, I don't know. But it's some type of residue. And it's never negatively impacted me because when I first started crafting, all I used was parchment paper because that's all I had from baking cookies. And I never had any problems with it. But, you know, when I watched a few reviews with X amount of people complaining about it, I just proactively bought some butcher's paper because it does make sense. So my iron is hot. I have it on a highest setting right before max. So mine says 1 dot, 2 dots, 3 dots, then max. So I have mine on the 3 dots. Because when you put it on max, it seems like the steam, even though it's turned off, it seems like I can still hear the steam. And you don't want the steam. Steam is what? Moisture? I'm not 100% sure about that, but you don't want to steam your stuff. You just want to heat it. Heat it. So I'm going to do 2 3-second presses because this surface is not big enough to cover the entire thing. So I'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I always do that. And then I'll do 1, and I am pressing down pretty hard. 4, 5. From my experience, I touch it. If it's hot, then it's probably a go. You don't have to like go overboard with the heat. You do not. One great thing about these masks. And I need to Google it. I think this is like a cool peel. Because every time I try to peel it hot, it does pull off my vinyl. But I'm just so anxious. See, it's cooling down and it's already peeling better. So it's definitely a warm to cool peel. It's not a hot peel, which means that as soon as you take the press off of it, it's hot. And that's not when you peel it. You wait until it cools down a tad bit and it gets warm. And you'll have to find your own level of warm. I can't tell you what warm is to you, or how many seconds it'll take for that. Maybe you're in the Appalachian Mountains and it could take 2 seconds for yours to get cold, and somebody in Cali it'll take 15 seconds. So I try to stay away from all of those specifics like that. I'm gonna put a little more heat on this. Even though I think it's done, I pulled up a part just now. But I want to make sure it stays down going forward. Okay. I'm really happy with how this is coming out. I wish that I had an electronic oven so that I could preheat it. These peels are much easier than I'm making it seem like right now. But I just do not have time for any mistake. Another thing too is some pieces will kind of like pull up. And from my experience, that does not mean that you need to re-add heat. That just means that you need to press it back down. Because this still has to dry, you know, like it still has to dry. So it's understandable that so I'm gonna sit this on there. Let's put a piece of paper on it. Let's put a piece of paper on it, and then let's sit a crap load of stuff on it. Boom, boom. So what we're doing is literally just pressing it, and this is not necessary. It's just fun. So I'm going to go and put her in the oven. Again, these cups can have any kind of designs that you want. If you wanted to fit in space down here with the names of the children, or rest in peace, or whatever. Or if you just want a picture of you on your beer mug, it's optional. I'll be back once I put this in the oven. Thanks, guys.